All right, now this is a very interesting topic. Earlier we talked about the financial market. We've talked about the real estate market. I want to get into some niche advice for seniors. That generation is facing challenges when it comes to their retirement, Social Security. Joining us in studio, Michele Kole, our good friend. We love having you on as always.
Thank you very much.
And you've invited a special guest here today. First time having you on the show. Lenka Holman, you're a financial educator and speaker. So you can kind of speak to the market and the challenges the senior generation is facing when it comes to Social Security and shortfalls on retirement. So let's start with the retirement shortfall. Actually, you can combine them however you want, right? So Social Security, taking it out, what are the pitfalls?
Well, the biggest one is that people don't know, when do I take it? That's the number one question. When should I take it? And the most unsatisfying yet truest answer is it depends. Mm-hmm. And there are so many times that you can do a balance of what's going on. I see people often saying, take it as early as you can so you can get the most possible. But what people don't realize is there's a FRA, which in code means full retirement age. What is that full retirement age? That's when a lot of the strings and the pitfalls go away. Mm. And so if you take money before that full retirement age, what you're doing is you're locking in the lowest possible benefit.
Right.
And you may even have to bring back as much as 50% if you're still working. So those
What do you mean by bring back?
The government takes half of it back. If you make too much money.
So taking it and working at the same time.
You got it.
So it's not just a matter of at this age you get X amount, this age you get a little bit more, this age you get a little bit more. There's all these things that surround it as well.
The oh, by the ways.
Oh, give us an example of those oh, by the ways.
Well, if you take your Social Security before your full retirement age, let's say a year and a half to 2 years before then, and you make more than what the threshold is, which is some whopping number like 17 grand, of course we're living high on the hog at that point, you end up having to give back $1 for every 2 that you make. Mm. And so you're locking in the lowest possible Social Security benefit and getting it lowered even more.
So typically, as you advise on a situation like this, when you're educating in public, you probably have to individualize the advice.
That's exactly
right? So there's no cookie cutter blanketed advice.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And that's one of my catchphrases is financial entertainers. It's entertaining, and you do get a lot of big information. But when you go to sign those papers with the Social Security Department, you better know what questions to ask.
Well, we've talked about finance and real estate today, so this blends really nicely. Michele, you actually can leverage real estate as a solution in a situation like this. What advice do you have there?
For leveraging real estate in that? Well, for reverse mortgage sake, I have a client that fits in just exactly what Lenka's talking about. She had gotten that advice that it wasn't time to take her Social Security. She was old enough to get a reverse mortgage, and what she did is use the proceeds from that so she could cut back on her work hours. She didn't want to fully retire, and postpone her Social Security till she was that full retirement age. So that was going to maximize her benefit, just like Lenka was talking about.
So how does the reverse tie in as a solution here?
The reverse mortgage provides that gap money, the cash that's in there that bridges the gap from where you want your income to be to where it is.
Okay.
So you're going to get $2,000 or $3,000 total income with Social Security later on. So maybe you want to take enough cash out right now so that you kind of slide in to that benefit when it's
See,
time.
what I always like about the reverse mortgage, first of all, I think it's the most misunderstood financial instrument. I hate the name of it. I say that all the time.
Well, that's why we call it a HECM.
The home equity conversion mortgage, right? Developed under Reagan, government insured. Sounds so much better than you're going in reverse.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a senior and you've been paying on a mortgage for so long. But what I like about it is it can be a solution if you're facing challenges, but it also can be an opportunity. You can take out cash out, you can buy a second home. I mean, you can really use it to leverage as well. As an educator, how do you advise people on this?
It depends on the situation, and I'm sorry I keep going on that specific one.
Sure.
I'm a broken record. And what we end up seeing is the dynamics that you don't see on the surface. sometimes people say, my home is the answer, quote unquote. What if somebody decides to sell their home? Is that seen as the same way as a reverse mortgage? Not exactly. Those are the things that really do make a big difference. I think Michele had an experience with something like that specifically, where you think the house is the answer, but how you utilize that house is more the answer.
Exactly.
Well, what I love about it is that it allows you to stay in your home, right?
Yeah.
It's not, we're talking all about this
Absolutely.
financial stuff, but let's not forget, you need food, you need water, and you need shelter. And if you're a senior, especially if you've lived in your home for so many years, the last thing you want to do is uproot out of your home that you're comfortable in. You've built all these memories, you have the neighbors, the community. That's, to me, the beauty of the reverse mortgage. It allows you to keep the home. And you can live till you're 200 years old and it's still your home. You retain title, you build equity.
Yeah.
So I love it as a solution, and I love your advice here today. Lenka, if you have questions about your Social Security or your home or reverse mortgage, I encourage you to reach out to us. We have a website. There's a resource tab. Just click on it. It emails me directly. I'd be happy to connect you with these two here. They are experts in the space. Michele and Lenka, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you.